So I recently learned that women are most likely to develop autoimmune disorders, and not just anyone.
Hi. So if this is the first time that you're seeing my face pop up on your TikTok, my name is Akina and I have vitiligo, as you can see, which is in fact an autoimmune condition that is triggered by stress in some cases. So majority of people that I have met who have vitiligo would have encountered some sort of traumatic event in their adult life. There are people who would have gotten vitiligo from childhood, born with it, that kind of thing. I can't say for that, but I've spoken to a lot of adults, mainly women, who have shared that they would have gone through some sort of traumatic situation and it resulted in them getting vitiligo, like me. So if you go on my page, or if you have been privileged, or whatever, to ever hear my story or to read my book or books, you would know that I am not only a domestic violence survivor, but I would have gone through a lot of stuff in my life. And it was in I think it was around 2016 or so, when I first started seeing vitiligo appearing on my skin. It started as a very, very tiny dot, like one of these little dots that you're seeing here, and now I have vitiligo on almost 90% of my body in different areas, so like different spotted areas. I don't think there is a specific part of my body that I don't have it. I even have it in my ears, I have it on my feet, in between my toes, on my fingers, in my scalp, as you can see right here. Like, I have it on every part of my body, and we are now in 2024, so I have not even had vitiligo for a good 10 years, and it has spread this much. When I started to get vitiligo, it was at a time when I had just had an injury on the job, and I had had 2 surgeries done. And it was after the surgery, I think it was like the first surgeries, when I started to see it really like appearing, and at that time I had thought that it was the actual surgery that would have brought it on, and it could have been, but it also could have been a series of things that I had been through in my life. At the time, I was in a very, very traumatic relationship, going through domestic violence, cheating after cheating after cheating. I was also very much involved in the church, so I grew up in church. I consider myself a woman of faith. I am absolutely no longer a religious person, but I believe in Jesus Christ. And but back then I was really, I was like the war room woman, right? So everybody would be like, pray for your husband, anoint the shoes, do the whole shindig. And I was pouring a lot of my energy and efforts into trying to make that relationship work and to make my family life work. It resulted in me putting my body in a state of fight or flight, where I would never be in a state of rest. I would never, even when I'm physically resting, psychologically, my mind would never be at rest, because I'm always wondering, okay, when this person is going to do this next, when this person is going to cheat next, who they messing around with, who they cheating with, let me check the phone, let me, in that state of crazy where some women could get. When am I crazy? I don't mean to like minimize the experiences of people, but where you reach that point of forgetting who you are and focusing so much on changing the other person. And my faith background had a lot to do with perpetuating that notion and that cycle, where every time I would be encouraged to stay rather than leave, so my body would always be in this state of fix it, figuring it out, fighting to make things work, praying, fasting, all those things. And I'm not discrediting working or fighting for your family, but this is just my story and how it impacted me. Also with the situation with my job, that was a career that I loved so much. I really, really loved what I was doing at that time, and I did it for 10 years. I got injured on a job, and then this happened. I had to walk away from that career because of that injury, and it really changed the trajectory of my life. So this content creator talking about stress being something that is causing an uptick in autoimmune conditions in women lately is my real life story. lupus is an autoimmune condition. I don't know if you all know that. Rheumatoid arthritis are things that are autoimmune as well. So I always give God thanks that vitiligo is something cosmetic and it's not something that has impacted me on a, let's say, like an organ level or something like that. But within a matter of less than 10 years, this is what my skin looks like. And again, I'm wearing a long sleeve, so I can't show too much. But I don't know, within the next 5 years, I might be completely white. I have considered doing treatments to just make myself completely white. Like right now, I'm wearing a little bit of powder. I can wipe this off and you'll see where, you know. But yeah, I have considered that because it could be a little mind-boggling to like just have to like wait for this whole thing to happen and for this transition to happen. I try to keep my stress at a minimum now. I'm no longer in that relationship. I have studied my life and my career now to a point where God has used my vitiligo journey to kind of like be a message and story to other women and girls. But it doesn't mean that it has made it any easier, or it doesn't mean that it has not been a challenge for me to cope with this. So please listen when people like this come on and tell you about autoimmune conditions and how stress impacts your physical body. It's not just talking because they see something on the internet that they want to share. This is my real life story, and I am a living testimony that stress can impact your body in ways that you might not even imagine. Nobody in my family that I know of has vitiligo, and I would have never assumed to my wildest dreams that this would have happened to me. Never. But it did. So pay attention to your body, women, ladies, young girls, young women. Pay attention to your body. Pay attention to the choices that you are making, and pay attention to the battles that you are fighting. Some battles are not worth losing your health and losing your life over. If it's not working out, get rid of it. Leave. It is not worth it. Bye.